Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's be honest, managing diabetes can feel like walking a tightrope. You're constantly balancing medications, activity levels, and, perhaps most dauntingly, your diet. And while everyone tells you to eat your vegetables, it's not always that simple, is it? The truth is, while vegetables are nutritional powerhouses, some can be surprisingly tricky for blood sugar control. It's not about demonizing any particular vegetable. It's about understanding how they affect your body, especially if you're living with diabetes or are pre-diabetic. The good news is, vegetables should be a big part of your diet. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which is a superstar for helping manage blood sugar. Fiber slows down how quickly sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream, preventing those scary spikes. But, and this is a big but, some vegetables are higher in carbohydrates, particularly starches, than others. Those starches break down into glucose, sugar, pretty quickly, which can be a problem. This video isn't about creating a forbidden foods list. It's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make informed choices and enjoy your meals without constant worry. Top 9 Worst Vegetables for Diabetes, the Proceed with Caution list. We're going to dive into some specific vegetables that you'll want to be extra mindful of. Remember, this doesn't mean you can never eat them. It means understanding their potential impact and how to enjoy them in a way that supports your health. Number 1. Potatoes, the starchy king. Potatoes. So versatile, so comforting, and so potentially problematic for blood sugar. The main culprit here is their high glycemic index, GI, and glycemic load, GL. Think of the GI as a speed rating for how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. The GL takes portion size into account. Potatoes, especially when mashed, baked, or, fried, score high on both. This means they can cause a rapid surge in blood glucose, forcing your body to pump out a lot of insulin. For someone with diabetes, this can lead to hyperglycemia, high blood sugar, and over the long term, make your body less responsive to insulin resistance. It's not just about any potato, though. White potatoes tend to be worse than sweet potatoes, but we'll get to those later. Leaving the skin on helps a little, adding some fiber, but the overall effect is still significant. And let's be real, fried potatoes are a double whammy, adding unhealthy fats to the equation. Boiling or steaming is slightly better, but portion control is absolutely essential. Think of a small fist-sized portion as your max. Or, even better, try swapping out potatoes for things like mashed cauliflower. It's surprisingly good. Or roasted turnips for a lower carb option. Number 2. Corn. Sweetness with a side of sugar spike. Corn on the cob, a summertime barbecue staple, and another one to watch out for. While technically a grain, we often eat corn like a vegetable. The problem? It's packed with carbohydrates, mainly starch. Corn has a relatively high GI, meaning that familiar quick spike in blood sugar. Sweet corn, that extra delicious variety, is even higher in sugar, making it even more of a concern. Again, portion size is your friend, or enemy if you ignore it. A tiny ear of corn might be okay for some, but a heaping helping of corn on the cob, or dishes loaded with corn, like cornbread or corn chowder, can deliver a serious carbohydrate punch. And those processed corn products like high fructose corn syrup? Avoid them like the plague. They offer zero nutritional value and are a fast track to blood sugar chaos. If you love corn, try having a small portion and always pair it with protein and healthy fats, like grilled chicken and avocado, to help slow down the sugar absorption. Number 3. Beets. Earthy, sweet, and, surprisingly sugary. Beets, those beautiful deep red root vegetables, are full of good stuff like folate and potassium, but they also have a surprisingly high sugar content for a vegetable. Their fiber does help a bit, slowing down the sugar rush, but beets still have a moderate GI, This means they can definitely raise your blood sugar, especially if you eat a lot of them. Beet juice is particularly tricky. Juicing removes most of the fiber, leaving behind concentrated sugar. That's a recipe for a rapid blood sugar spike. Roasted beets, while delicious, also concentrate the sugars. If you're a beet fan, the best way to enjoy them is in moderation, boiled or steamed, and as part of a balanced meal. Think of them as a colorful addition, not the main event. Pair them with low-carb veggies, some lean protein, and healthy fats to keep things in check. And always monitor your blood sugar after eating beets to see how your body reacts. Number 4. Butternut squash, a fall favorite, but watch the portions. Butternut squash, with its creamy texture and sweet, nutty flavor, is a fall and winter favorite. But that sweetness is a hint. It's higher in carbohydrates than many other non-starchy veggies. It does have vitamins and fiber, but the carb count is significant enough to warrant caution. Its GI is moderate, so it can cause a noticeable rise in blood sugar, especially if you go overboard on portion size. How you cook it matters too. Roasting, while it brings out that amazing flavor, concentrates the sugars. Pureed butternut squash, often used in soups, can be a sneaky source of carbs. If you're including butternut squash, be mindful of how much you're eating. A small serving, paired with lower carb companions and a good source of protein and healthy fat, is the way to go. Think of it as a flavorful accent, not the star of the show. Number 5. Green peas, small but mighty, in carbs. Green peas, those little green spheres of sweetness, often seem so innocent. They're a good source of fiber and vitamins, but they're also surprisingly high in carbohydrates compared to leafy greens or other non-starchy vegetables. Their starch content gives them a moderate GI, meaning they can definitely bump up your blood sugar. The type of peas matters. Fresh peas are generally the best choice, followed by frozen. Canned peas often have added sugar or salt, which you want to avoid. And, you guessed it, portion control is key. A small handful of peas can probably fit into a diabetic-friendly meal plan, but a large bowlful could cause problems. Always pair them with protein and healthy fats to help slow down that carbohydrate absorption and keep your blood sugar levels more stable. Number 6. Celery. The juice could be a problem. Celery often appears on diet-friendly food lists because it's so low in calories, and in its whole crunchy form, it's generally fine for people with diabetes. The issue arises when celery is juiced. Many people enjoy celery juice for its purported health benefits. However, the juicing process removes the fiber, which is the key component that helps regulate blood sugar. Without fiber, the small amount of natural sugars in celery can be absorbed more quickly, potentially leading to a minor, but still noticeable, spike in blood sugar. Number 7. Carrots. Cooked versus raw matters. Carrots are packed with goodness. Beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, fiber, and antioxidants. But they also have a higher carbohydrate content than some other non-starchy vegetables. The crucial thing with carrots is how you eat them. Raw carrots, with their fiber intact, have a lower glycemic index, GI, than cooked carrots. Cooking breaks down some of the fiber, making the sugars more readily available and potentially causing a faster rise in blood glucose. So, raw carrot sticks with a healthy dip, like hummus, are a better choice than a big bowl of glazed cooked carrots. And like celery, carrot juice is a concern. Juicing removes the fiber, concentrating the sugars and leading to a much faster and bigger blood sugar spike. Number 8. Parsnips. The sweet root vegetable. Parsnips, those pale carrot-like root vegetables, have a distinctively sweet and earthy flavor. That sweetness is a warning sign. They're higher in carbohydrates than many other root vegetables, even carrots. Parsnips have a higher glycemic index, GI, than many other root vegetables. This means they can cause a relatively rapid increase in blood sugar after you eat them. While they do contain fiber, which helps a little, the overall carbohydrate load is still significant. Roasting parsnips, a common way to cook them, tends to concentrate their sugars, making them even sweeter. Boiling or steaming might be a slightly better option, but, as always, portion control is essential. Number 9. Sweet potatoes. Better than white, but still. Sweet potatoes are often hailed as the healthy alternative to white potatoes. And they do have some advantages, more fiber and certain vitamins. But they still have a significant carbohydrate content, so you can't just eat them with abandon if you have diabetes. While their glycemic index, GI, is generally lower than white potatoes, it can vary depending on how you cook them. Boiling tends to result in a lower GI than baking or roasting. And that fiber, especially if you eat the skin, helps slow down the sugar absorption. But it doesn't completely eliminate the impact on your blood sugar. So, enjoy sweet potatoes, but in moderation and cooked in a way that minimizes the sugar spike. Precautions and considerations. It's not about never, it's about how. This isn't about creating a list of foods you can never eat again. It's about understanding that some vegetables require a little more planning and awareness. The key is moderation. A small portion of any of these vegetables can likely fit into a healthy diabetic meal plan. It's also about combination. Don't eat these higher carb vegetables on their own. Pair them with sources of protein, like lean meat, fish, beans, or tofu, and healthy fats, like avocado, olive oil, or nuts. Protein and fat slow down digestion, which helps to prevent those rapid blood sugar spikes. And most importantly, listen to your body. Regular blood sugar monitoring, especially after trying new foods or combinations, is crucial. It's the best way to see how your body reacts and make adjustments to your diet accordingly. Tips for safe vegetable consumption. Making smart choices. The cornerstone of a diabetes-friendly vegetable strategy is to really embrace non-starchy vegetables. Think of these as your go-to choices, the ones you can fill up on without worrying too much about blood sugar spikes. We're talking about leafy greens like spinach, kale, and all types of lettuce, cruciferous champions like broccoli and cauliflower, and other delicious options such as asparagus, cucumbers, peppers, and zucchini. These vegetables are nutritional powerhouses, providing essential vitamins and minerals while being naturally low in carbohydrates and high in that all-important fiber. Make them the foundation of your meals, and you're already well on your way to better blood sugar control. When you do decide to incorporate those higher carbohydrate vegetables we discussed earlier, the key is mindful portion control. Don't just guess. Actually measure your servings. Using measuring cups or even a small food scale can be incredibly helpful in ensuring you're not accidentally overdoing it. Getting a visual sense of what a reasonable portion looks like can make a big difference in managing your blood sugar response. It's about being aware and making conscious choices, rather than just piling food onto your plate. Think carefully about how you're preparing your vegetables too. Cooking methods can actually impact their effect on your blood sugar. Generally, steaming, boiling, or grilling are preferable to frying or roasting. Frying, of course, adds unhealthy fats, which are problematic for overall health, not just diabetes. Roasting, while it brings out delicious flavors, can sometimes concentrate the natural sugars in vegetables, making them more likely to cause a spike. Sticking with simpler, gentler cooking methods often preserves more nutrients and helps keep the glycemic impact lower. Finally, don't be afraid to get creative with substitutions. The culinary world is full of clever ways to swap out higher carb ingredients for lower carb alternatives, and vegetables are often at the heart of these swaps. For instance, cauliflower rice has become a hugely popular substitute for regular rice, offering a similar texture with significantly fewer carbohydrates. Zucchini noodles, often called zoodles, are a fantastic stand-in for pasta, providing a satisfying and nutritious base for your favorite sauces. Even mashed cauliflower can mimic the comforting creaminess of mashed potatoes with a much lower impact on blood sugar. Exploring these alternatives can open up a whole new world of delicious and diabetes-friendly meal options. And always be an ingredient detective. Read food product labels for hidden sugars and sodium. Living with diabetes is a journey, and managing your diet is a big part of that. Understanding how different foods, even seemingly healthy vegetables, affect your blood sugar is empowering. This video has highlighted some vegetables that require a bit more thought and planning, but it's not about restriction. It's about making informed choices, practicing moderation, and finding a way of eating that supports your health and well-being. Remember, you're not alone in this. Working with a registered dietitian or certified diabetes educator can provide personalized guidance and support. They can help you create a meal plan that fits your lifestyle, your preferences, and your specific needs. Did you find this video helpful? Share it with friends or family who might also be navigating the world of diabetes or blood sugar management. Knowledge is power, and sharing information can make a real difference. And if you have any questions, tips, or personal experiences to share, please leave a comment below. Let's learn from each other and build a supportive community focused on healthy eating and thriving with diabetes.